Hi, these are all the decks that I got in 2022. I definitely spend way too much money on these. Some of these I don't even own anymore. So let's go month by month, starting with January. The two decks that I got in January are the Tarot and the Rabbit Tarot. So I don't have the Rabbit Tarot anymore, but it was by the same creator. I got both of them from the Game Crafter, and they're both by Nakisha. And the tarot is by a little over is a deck of like a cute little rat, and this is a deck that I really enjoy. I think it's incredibly cute. I don't use it as often as I maybe should. The Rabbit Tarot I decided to declutter. I sold it just because the tarot is easier to read with because it doesn't change any of these suits. But with the Rabbit Tarot, the suits are all changed. So like the carrots were, I don't know, wands, or the carrots were swords or something like that. And I don't tend to gravitate towards a deck like this very often. So when I do, I don't want to sort of have to relearn the suits all over again every time that I want to grab for the deck. That is why I ended up with the Tarot only, and this is my only purchase that I still own from January. First deck that I got in February is the Pocket Wild Unknown. I got this actually from a client after I've done a reading for her. And yeah, this is a deck that I haven't really used that much, but that is more because this is such a confronting deck. Whenever I do a reading with this, it, like I said, super confronting, and I am not always in the mood for an energy like that. But I do think that this deck is incredibly well done, and I definitely, now that I'm looking through it, I want to use it more. I think it is an incredible deck. I like that the cards are smaller, and I don't think that even if I end up totally loving this deck, I don't think I would want it full size. I like that it's a pocket edition. I like that it's in a tin because the guidebook is so thick. Look at that. The tin is also way thicker than some of my other tins that I have. So yeah, the Pocket Wild Unknown. Next is the Happy Tarot, which I no longer have. I decided to declutter it because I just wasn't really connecting with the imagery. The like, it was super cute. It looked really cute, but it wasn't really my thing ultimately. Next, the Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. I definitely don't use this as much as probably I should, but these cards are really pretty, and I do think that this is a deck that I will use once I sort of get used to working with Oracle a little bit more. Like, I don't really work with Oracle a lot unless it has a specific purpose in my practice, because some decks really do have a specific purpose in my practice. Like the Dark Mirror Oracle, that one is specifically for shadow work. But this one, I don't really know. I thought because it was like a moon oracle, I thought this would be really great for reading emotions, but I don't really think that it is. I don't know what I think. I think I need to use it a little bit more, is what I think. But I do think that the cards are really stunning. I don't really care for the backs that much, like for like how realistic the art looks on the front. I don't like what they've done with the backs. I don't keep this one in its original box because it's way too big, but this is the Tea Leaf Fortune cards. And this definitely has more cards than this because it like originally comes with 200 cards, but I went through it and I only took out the ones that I feel like I could work with in a reading. So this is more of it's not really like a deck mod, but I am not using the entire deck. So yeah, I don't think there's much to tell here. I haven't used it a lot. I have used this in like a pick a card reading of some sort, I think. And yeah, like I said, I don't really use Oracle that much. I do think that this will be in my collection long term, just because I do like that it's so basic, and I feel like the energy of this deck could go with anything really. So yeah, I'm glad that I have it in my collection, but I haven't really used it a lot, and it's also like super hard to shuffle. Like, how do you like, I have to do it like that. Like, really sort of like drop it, but it's easier to divide it in fourths. Like, that's way easier. So I usually do it like that, or divide it into fourths, and then I can shuffle it a little bit easier. So yeah, the Tea Leaf fortune cards. This is another deck that I got gifted, and I actually got this gifted by the creator, Holly Nelson. So this is the spread deck, and this is it's not really a tarot deck, it's not really an oracle deck, but this can help you create tarot spreads, and I absolutely love it. This is like a sun or a moon card. And this is, first of all, it is amazing cardstock. Like, it's so smooth. I absolutely love the shuffle on this, both overhand as well as the riffle shuffle. Like, that's gorgeous. So, anyway, you can use this to craft your own tarot spread. So you can lay it out like this, like do something like solutions, lessons, family. But to me, this doesn't really seem like a logical spread. So what I will do is I'll go through these and think like, what is something that makes sense for me? So for like right here, what I could do is, what is a conflict that I'm having? What is a lesson that I can learn from it? How can I reflect on what my own role is in this conflict, and then what could a possible solution be? So if I then grab my, since I have it here, grab my tarot deck, I could see like, okay, what is a conflict that I'm having? And this doesn't really make sense because this is a mini deck, but you can actually line it up perfectly here because these are regular tarot sizes. But I actually like it in with a mini deck as well. So and then you will do it like that. So that is how this could work, which I really do like it for. And I am planning on creating like an ebook full of tarot spreads that I find actually useful. So yeah, that is the spread deck. I haven't really used it a lot since I got it. But like I said, I do have a specific use for this, and I'm excited to work with it in that way. I feel like if you like creating your own tarot spreads, then this is a really handy sort of tool to have. And the last deck that I got in February is the Zombie Tarot, which I have since decluttered. And actually, I got a comment earlier this week where someone said that the Zombie Tarot would be a great deck for my political tarot readings. And I was like, oh my god, yeah, that is true. But I don't have it anymore because I didn't reach for it. I got it in February because it was affordable. It ended up not even lowering in price, so I didn't even have to get it as early as February because I thought I was going to use it more in the month of October, but I didn't. So yeah, I sold that. In March, the first deck that I got was the Tarot of Trees. I actually got this because I did a snack exchange from someone from the US. And the shipping from this deck to her house was significantly more affordable than if I were to have it shipped towards me. So I asked if I could order it and have it sent to their house. And that was okay. And they sent it in the box for the snack exchange because she was going to send me a box anyway. And this is such a lovely deck. I have definitely used it, especially in the beginning half of the year. The first couple of months that I had this. I haven't really used it for the last couple of months, but I still think that this is such an amazing deck. For some reason, these trees depict emotion. I don't know, they give me feeling. I love this deck so much. I typically don't really go for anything of this specific art style necessarily, but it's so stunning. I think I love the color palettes for every suit. Like the swords have this more darker red. The wands are like more bright. Let's see, what else do we have? Pentacles, which are more gloomy because this is winter, and the swords are fall. Pretty sure the wands are summer, and the cups are spring, I think. Anyway, this is stunning. And look at that dramatic Ten of Swords, and I actually really love it. So this is one that I definitely want to keep in my collection. I'm going to keep the dramatic Ten of Swords on top. and I just really enjoy having this deck in my collection. The next one that I got is the Little Wizards Tarot. So I actually got 2 independent decks this month. And this is a Harry Potter themed tarot deck, and I love it so much, you guys. I hate the cardstock because I don't like rose petal finish, and this was also probably way more expensive than it needed to be, than I wanted to spend, but it's stunning. This is a 5 of Cups Dobby. Yeah, this is so stunning. It's a Harry Potter deck. This is like my perfect Harry Potter deck, because the other Harry Potter decks that are out there, I don't vibe with it. I don't love the style. I don't love the vibe, and I do really, really like the vibe here. It is amazing. I only have good things to say except for the cardstock, because I don't know, I have sensory issues sometimes, and I definitely have it with this deck. But I will say that the cards, it does really shuffle super nicely as like a riffle shuffle. Like, look at that. Oh, that's perfect. But overhand shuffle is really more, like, way harder to do because all the cards sort of clump together. I also haven't really used this in a tarot reading because it's like, who am I gonna pull Harry Potter tarot cards for? I did a Hogwarts house pick a card reading, which was really fun to do, but like, I'm not gonna do that again. Like, pretty sure I'm not gonna do that again unless there are a lot of people who want to see that. So I think I definitely will keep this deck, but I think it's just gonna have to be a deck just for me. The last deck that I got in March is the Wildwood Tarot, which I have since decluttered because I just do not vibe that much with the imagery, and the system was way more complicated. I would have to read the entire book to sort of understand it, and I was just not willing to do that for this deck, so I let it go. In April, I only got one deck, which is the Tarot de Lou, and I picked this up with the expectation of going through my book, Tarot and Astrology, and to sort of learn all of the astrology associations for the tarot. And that is the only reason that I haven't let go of this deck yet, because look at this. This is not my art style. This is not what I like. I don't know if I even really like it, and they don't like it has the astrological symbols here. So here it says, I think this is Saturn. Is this Saturn? Saturn in Libra, I think. Yeah. So I will know that the 3 of Swords is Saturn in Libra. And here we have Mars in Leo for the 7 of Wands, so that I know the actual astrological associations. But I can also just do that with my regular RWS and just write it on there. I don't have to have this, so this is definitely... I don't see myself owning this deck at the end of 2023, but so far I still have it. Not an art style that I love. It's not a deck that I gravitate towards, like, not even a little bit. This is the Tarot de Lou. I got 2 decks in the month of May, starting with the Tarot of the Golden Wheel. This is the deck that I actually got for the Say Yes to the Deck, and initially I really liked it. Again, this is a deck that I see myself not owning at the end of next year. Or I think this is going up. This is going up in the new year, so I don't see myself getting or still owning this at the end of 2023. I don't know. The artwork just doesn't really give that much emotion. I think there are only 2 cards in this deck that I really like. It's the Empress, maybe even also like the Queen of Wands. I'm pretty sure I like it as well as the 9 of Pentacles, which is yellow with pink. I also like this one. So there are a couple of cards that I really, really like, and the rest is just a little, I don't know, I don't really care about them. So I also just haven't really used this a bunch, and I don't know, it's pretty. It was affordable, I guess, which is why I got this eventually, but I don't know. I don't see myself really owning this at the end of 2023. And this is actually one that I already decluttered, but it was still in my basket to be sold because nobody had purchased it yet. This is the Arcanum Tarot. And I don't even hate this deck. I put it back in the original order, so I'm gonna keep it in the order. These are more like, I don't know, AI looking characters, what we now are seeing with the AI. And I don't even hate that. I don't feel a connection to these cards. I think they're really pretty. Like, look at that. I think they're really pretty, but I just do not feel connected to this artwork. And I do not feel called to use this deck. Like, this is really pretty. I think it's really pretty. But I am not called to this artwork. I'm not called to this deck, so it needs to leave my collection. And I already put it on Vinted, which is where I sell all of my used tarot decks. But yeah, Arcanum Tarot and Tarot of the Golden Wheel both hopefully will be gone by the end of 2023. In June, I got 5 decks. So one of them I already decluttered. Let's start here with the Therapets. This is such a cute deck, okay? It is huge. It has ginormous cards, but it's really cute, okay? It has all of these animals and these affirmations, but these are actually like cute animals. And these are affirmations, quotes that I think are actually helpful. Like a lot of affirmation-based decks I don't really love because I feel like they are so generic or they are so cheesy, and I don't find these quotes to be cheesy. And I actually get all the feels from some of these animals here in this deck, and it is absolutely stunning. I have used these for my podcast, which I have ended in 2022. I now know what this is. It's axolotl. I never knew what this was. Anyway, I have used this for like self-care, self-worth readings, affirmations, and I just find that I can get a lot out of these cards and I really enjoy them. So that is Therapets. And then I got 2 more affirmation decks, which I mostly got for the idea of like pick a card readings. So what I have done with, I don't know if I've used both of them or just one of them. But I did like a pick a card where you could pick a quote. Yeah, where you could here like pick a quote, and that will be like your pile. So you could pick one of these, and I've done one of them. So I have the Inner Fucking Peace and Wake Up, Kick Ass, Repeat. This is the Inner Fucking Peace. They look so similar, both of them. Wait, here. I don't really care for these. I am pretty sure I'm ready to let this go. I don't use these. It's like, it's cute, I guess, but I don't care that much about these. I feel like during this, I'm also sort of decluttering in my mind. Oh my god, these boxes. I hate this so much. And the last one that I still have is the Witchling Academy Tarot. I keep it in this little bag that I made for it. It's so cute. This is about Charlie. I did an entire video on this deck with the story that you are walked through with this deck. I think it's so cute. I haven't really used it a lot since, but I think it is a really good deck, and I have really enjoyed the messages that I have gotten with this and the readings that I've done with this. I don't know, I just feel like when there are so many decks in my collection, I have over 30 decks right now, tarot decks, some just don't really get used as much, and this is one of those decks that just doesn't really get used as much. I love this deck, this card. Look at that, the Queen of Cups, and she's like painting her little animal familiar, sort of. It's a really great deck. Ooh, fireworks, and I definitely want to use it more. Another deck that I got in June, but that I decluttered, is the Earth Alchemy Oracle. It was just, it wasn't for me. It was too hard to sort of understand. It was too hard and too complicated to actually use it in readings. Was not my thing. So I literally, I think 2 weeks after I got it, I already sold it because I just found that it was not for me. Yeah, I did not need that in my life. I only got one deck in July, and that is the Wake Me Up Tarot. Oh. Wait, let me... Oh, it's hard to open up. So, And this is like my perfect modern deck where I feel like this is set in my world. There's a lot of like technology in here, but that is my world. Like I do a lot with technology. I'm on my phone all of the time. And I know that some people really don't like that this deck shows more technology and more phones and that type of stuff, but I feel like it makes sense. This is like what I wanted the This Might Hurt tarot to be. It just the This Might Hurt tarot, I think it's pretty. It's coming out mass market if you still buy from Liminal 11. I'm trying not to, but this is more me. This is more me, and I think it's stunning. I love the imagery here, and I feel like every time that I use it, I see a little bit more in it. And look at this Eight of Swords. She's in a glass box. This reminds me of, oh my god, the series You. I won't say anything more about that. That was wild. So yeah, look at that. That's like, this is like Tony Robbins energy of someone who is so charismatic, who through speech and through charisma can do so much, even though Tony Robbins is totally asshole. But, you know, yeah, this deck is amazing. I don't use it nearly enough, but I do not see this leaving my collection next year. In August, I got 4 decks, 2 of which I got from a subscriber and a channel member actually, and 2 that I purchased myself. So let me start with the decks that I purchased myself, which were the Wandering Star Tarot and the Star Codes Astro Oracle. So as for the Wandering Star, I really enjoyed it when I first got it because it did spiritual readings really well, and that was something that I was really looking for at that time. But it's not really something that I'm looking for right now. It also has the keywords in the card, in the imagery itself, which I really like. And I don't know, it's not really an artwork, an art style that I necessarily love. I do like that it has bright colors. That definitely is something that is for me. But this feels like every time I do a reading with it, it just touches a spiritual, and I'm just not always in the mood for that. I usually do tarot because I want to be more grounded. I want more insights, and I don't want like more spiritual woo-woo than already is going on in my life. So I can definitely see myself selling this in 2023. But the Star Codes Astro Oracle is like right now my perfect astrology deck. I really enjoy it. It has all of the houses, all of the planets. It has some aspects. And I did an entire deck study on this. I don't know if I shared that on my YouTube channel, but I did do an entire deck study, and I definitely see myself using this more next year. So I am excited about this deck. I haven't used it a ton since, but I definitely have used it a couple of times, and I feel like it can help me understand astrology a little bit better, because that is also a goal that I have for 2023, is that I want to learn astrology better. Now, for the 2 decks that I got from a subscriber as well as channel member, you know who you are. And I got the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot as well as the Prism Oracle. So the Prism Oracle is, I don't know, but it's sort of simple, but it is so easy to use. I have been able to use this in like client readings. Look at that, it's gorgeous. I've used this in client readings. I've used this in personal readings. I've used this on my channel in readings, and it's simple, it's to the point, it's easy to read, and that is what I love in an oracle. This is like my basic, like literally like my basic oracle, and it's fantastic. And then the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot. The funny thing is that I don't even like, aesthetically, I don't love these images. I think they're actually sort of ugly looking, but that's also why I love it so much. And this deck has taken absolutely no time to get to know me. Like I mean, as in it took it no time, because starting from the first reading, this was so on point, so accurate, and this just blows me away. If I want to do a personal reading where I need a deck that truly knows me and that will pull no punches, but is super accurate for me personally, this is a deck that I'll use. Oh my god, this is like hands down one of the favorite decks that I got in 2022 because it knows me so well, and the readings that I do with this are like flawless. So that is it for August. I did not get any decks in September, but in October I got 3. So let's start with the Deep, Dark, and Dangerous Oracle. This was also a gift, by the way, from the same channel member and subscriber who gifted me those 2 decks in August. There was a third one on its way to me, but because that was a pre-order, it took a little bit longer to come in. And I am still working through my sort of deck study here. It's not really an in-depth deck study, but it's more me reading through the descriptions of these deep, dark, dangerous creatures so that I can understand the stories that are here within these characters, I guess. And the cards are stunning, and I haven't used it yet just because I'm still reading through the guidebook. But the guidebook is kind of hard to read because it has this background and my eyes aren't the best. So when I read, I really have to be like up close, or otherwise I have a lot of trouble reading it. But it is a stunning deck, and I definitely see myself using this deck all year around, especially once I know all of the stories of the characters in this deck. Next is the Green Glyphs Lenormand. I got this after watching the Waves of Our Soul, the Waves of My Soul, their video on the entire collection. And this is actually the older edition Green Glyphs Lenormand, so I got it pretty much on sale from tarot.nl. I don't love, this is also the rose petal finish, so I don't love that. But I wanted to get this mainly for the guidebook, but because I want to learn Lenormand, but I don't even really love the guidebook here. So what I think I'm gonna do is write the keywords of the Lenormand meanings on the card so that it's gonna be easier for me to read. But I do really like this art style. It's really cute. I like it. I think it's clear. What I like with Lenormand decks, or what I like Lenormand decks to have, is to not have a lot. Because with Lenormand, I don't think it makes sense to read it super intuitively. Like, it's definitely different than tarot, where with Lenormand, I feel like it's more straight to the point and you connect the meanings of the cards together. Like, you do that in tarot as well. With tarot, there's a lot more intuition that comes into play. I mean, that's what so far I've gathered from how Lenormand works opposite to tarot. So yeah, that is the Green Glyphs Lenormand. And then I also got the Pulp Girls Tarot, which came out in October, I think. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is a stunning RWS clone. I've used it in a lot of political tarot readings and other tarot readings that I've done on the channel. And now that I'm looking through this again, I definitely want to pull it out for more readings soon. I think this is an amazing deck. I definitely see myself using this in client readings as well. This is such a fun deck. Look at that. Oh, I've shown this deck a ton of times before. But yeah, this is also one of my favorite new decks from 2023 is the Pulp Girls Tarot. I also want to get their astrology book that looks really, really cute. So that was it for October. The last 2 decks of the year I got in November. I did not get any decks in December. So let's go through these. I have the Morgan Greer in a tin and the Sun and Moon Tarot in a tin. I have used the Morgan Greer Tarot in a political tarot reading or 2. One of my channel members actually in the Discord is free to join, by the way. You can click the link in the description. But she said something about that the characters here with the mustaches really creep her out, and that the characters with mustaches look like they're like in their 70s or should have stayed in the 70s, and she could say the same about politicians. So that was really funny. But yeah, the Morgan Greer Tarot, it's a classic. I never really thought, I mean, I had it on my Say Yes to the Deck list, the full-size edition, but now that I have this, I definitely do not see myself picking up the full size. I think the tin version is enough for me. Right now it lives on my desk because I want to get to know it a little bit better. And then the last deck of the year is my Sun and Moon Tarot. So this is also a tarot deck in a tin, and this is the one that I keep with me in my bag. I have a backpack that I carry to school, that I carry to work, which I work at a school. So, and it's so cute. I like this. I really, really like this. And I'm glad that this is my deck for on the go. I recently did a reading with this for my coworker, which was really enjoyable to read with. Yeah, I definitely see myself using this more. Maybe I want to get like the Centennial in the tin that I want to put in my bag so that I can use this more at home, because I don't typically do on-the-go tarot readings very often. I don't. So, wow, someone is lighting a lot of firework. I hate fireworks. I hope you can hear me. So those were all of the decks that I purchased in 2022. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm definitely going to keep track of all the tarot decks and oracle decks that I buy in 2023 because I really enjoy doing this roundup. I definitely got a lot of decks that I ended up decluttering, but also there are a couple of decks in here that I bought that I absolutely loved. So yeah, I also like my new top-down view. I got a new camera stand, so it's actually like floating mid-air here so that I have a nice big space to show. Wow, the fireworks are going off again. So subscribe to the channel if you want to see more tarot chats, political tarot readings, all that fun stuff. A video that will be up very soon is all of the decks that I decluttered in 2022. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.